Houston Real Estate Radio.
Welcome to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and we are broadcasting on AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas. And we're your voice for Texas real estate news and information you can use. We're coming to you from the RREA.com studio in Spring, Texas. You can join us here every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. for all of the latest real estate news and information. Today we're talking about things that pertain to you and your real estate transaction. We always take your real estate questions and answer them on air the following week, so you can call anytime during the week and leave your question. The number to call is 281-882-8088. We have a great show lined up for you today. We're going to begin with Rhondalynn Riley, and she is with Exterior Inspections Incorporated, and it was founded back in 1997 by Rhondalynn, and we're so excited to have her on the show. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So to begin the show, I want to, of course, welcome you to our studio because you're here in the REA.com studio for the first time. So we're excited to have you. And you have so much knowledge about inspections in the industry because you do pool inspections, stucco inspections, you do general inspections, new construction inspections, just do all sorts of inspections for consumers in the Houston area. So today we want to talk specifically about new home inspections because what I find when I sell new homes to consumers is that they feel like it's a brand new house. What could be wrong with it? It's already passed all the codes that are out there with the builder. And so why do they need an inspection?
Well, I always tell consumers that it is very important. The number one thing to do is to get an inspection. And you have a couple of options there. You can either do phased inspections or you can do a final inspection. So with a phased inspection, if you are purchasing a lot and having a home built, we can do inspections from the foundation up. So pre-pour foundation, looking at the framing, we can look at electrical, mechanical, and plumbing throughout the process, and then a final inspection at the end. Versus if you purchase a home that's a spec home already built, certainly a final inspection is still advantageous to a consumer.
Okay. And so when you're looking at each phase, hasn't somebody already inspected the home from like the city or the county?
Well, if your home purchase is in a municipality being a city that has a building code department, most of the time there are going to be some code inspections done from that municipality. However, those code inspectors have a limited amount of time that they can spend on each job because they have a big caseload. Mm-hmm. So they're doing spot checks. They're not going through the house with a fine-tooth comb like a third-party independent inspector would be that is hired by a consumer.
Mm-hmm. And you're hired by the buyer. And so when the buyers hire you and you come in and do your inspections, let's say it's a spec home and they're doing a final inspection. When you find things wrong with the house, do you generally see that the builders will then go, oh yeah, we missed this, we'll go fix it, or are the buyers struggling to get those items fixed? Are the builders usually cooperative and willing to fix whatever is wrong on the inspections?
Yeah, absolutely. We do, produce a report based on the inspection, and then the builders have the opportunity to make corrections. If we're doing phased inspections, then as long as that item is not covered, then we can re-inspect it at the next site visit to make sure that the builder corrected it and that it's to code or code compliant. There's just an incentive for the builder to have the items corrected, and they have trades on site prior to closing.
Right. It's easier to get it done before closing, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, they still have their people there and just easy to go in and fix it. Whereas if you find something's wrong with it months later, you're more working with the warranty department at that time. Is that correct?
That's correct. And a lot of times, they have one person working warranty, depending on the size of the company that's building the home.
Yeah, so it's definitely better to get it all fixed before closing.
Absolutely.
So tell us about the difference between the unincorporated areas versus the incorporated areas, kind of what the difference are in their building codes.
Well, if you are having a home built in an unincorporated area, so in the county, essentially the building code is either the state building code, which is the Texas the International Residential Building Code 2006 version. And they don't have building code inspectors for the county generally. So a builder is going to hire a third-party independent inspection company to do their code inspections. The problem is that, again, they're doing spot checks because they have to do a lot of code inspections in order to, I guess, make a living per se. And so there is no enforcement. These people are contractors for the builder, just like the plumber or the electrician is.
Okay. All right. And what about common items that you find when you're looking at new home construction? What are some of the things that you're finding that need to be corrected?
Well, some of the things that we look for during our inspection are going to be structural issues, electrical issues, plumbing issues, and optional systems. So we're looking at structural issues, we're looking at caulking around windows and doors, we're looking at roofing, and a lot of times there's roof damage before the house has ever been lived in because there's foot traffic on that roof during construction.
Yeah.
So that gives the builder an opportunity to repair the roof damage that was caused by construction crews. We also look at roof bracing and that everything is properly installed and shored up. Electrical issues we find were maybe lack of panel labeling at the breakers or oversized breakers for air conditioning equipment. The electricians have one guideline and the mechanical contractors have a similar but different guideline for what the electrical needs to go to particular equipment. Okay. Then as far as plumbing is concerned, it sounds kind of elementary, but a lot of times it is not uncommon to find the hot and cold reversed at a fixture. So instead of hot on the left and cold on the right, you have hot on the right and cold on the left, which is a safety issue as well as a building code issue.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned optional systems. What is an optional system?
Well, according to the Texas Real Estate Commission, an optional system would be things like pools, outdoor cooking equipment, central vacuum systems, those types of things.
Okay. And can you just give us like a ballpark figure? Like if someone wanted to, if the home is completely built and they're purchasing the spec home and they want you to come out and do full inspection on the house, what's kind of a ballpark price for that? And then go into if you're doing the phasing, kind of what the different pricing is for phasing.
Okay. Well, certainly pricing is going to depend on the size of the home and how many air conditioning systems it has, but generally you can expect to pay about $350 and up for a general home inspection.
Not a lot for a little comfort at night to know that everything's good to go in the house, right?
That's right. I tell people that, $350 is some pretty cheap insurance.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Okay, and if you're doing the phase build, are they paying one flat fee for the whole thing, or they're paying per time that you go out and inspect the different phases?
Well, it really depends on how many times the consumer wants the inspector to go out. The pre-pour foundation is a fairly quick inspection, about 45 minutes, and that can run anywhere from $150 to $250. The framing inspection is the most extensive because during a framing inspection, you're not only looking at framing, but you're also looking at all of the electrical prior to it being covered by drywall, the plumbing prior to it being covered by drywall, as well as the mechanical, so the air conditioning and heating system prior to it being covered with sheetrock. So that inspection actually can take as much as 2 to 3 hours on site. And again, that ranges from about $350 and up.
Okay. Well, definitely recommend it, and for sure want any problems to be fixed before closing. We want consumers, as a realtor, when my clients move into a new home, I want to know that they're not going to have any problems, for sure. And if they do have problems, of course, there are warranty companies with, all the major builders.
And the builders don't want callbacks either, so again, just another reason to have it done beforehand so that everything's taken care of.
And Rhondalynn, if people want to contact you, how do they get in touch with you? If they need to get an inspection or if they have questions about new home inspections, how can they reach you?
They can reach me at my office. Melanie is my office manager. She does all the scheduling and pricing. And they can call my office at 281-353-8686.
And you go all over the Houston area?
I am all over Houston area.
Fantastic. All right, well, I am Shannon Register, and I'm proud to be the voice of Houston real estate in the Houston market. We'll be right back with Rhondalynn after this commercial break, and we're going to be talking about stucco and water intrusion.